Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hello and welcome. Reading today from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, Text 63. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aham Bhakta Paradino Yasvatantra Ivadvija Sadhubir Grasta Hridayo Bhaktar Bhakta Jana Priya. Here the Supreme Personality of Godhead is speaking to Durvasa Muni. No, not to Durvasa Muni. He's speaking to Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni has come to see the Supreme Lord Vishnu because he's being chased by the Lord's weapon, and he's begging for him to stop the weapon. But what Durvasa Muni did is he offended Maharaj Ambarish, who is a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. So now the Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent, because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the cause of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. So the Lord is explaining what you've done by offending Maharaj Ambarish was not very good. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. All the great stalwart personalities in the universe, reflections on the brain, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, are fully under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are great. The Lord Brahma is the creator. He's empowered by the Lord to create the universe. And Lord Shiva is empowered by the Lord to destroy the universe. These are the most powerful demigods or managers in the universal affairs. And they are fully under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully under the control of his devotees. So of course Brahma and Shiva are also devotees. Swayambhu, Vaishnavanam, Yatha Shambhu explains that Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava and Brahma is the head of our disciplic succession, the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So these are great devotees, but here the point is being made that even the greatest demigods are under the control of the Lord, but the Lord is under the control of his devotees. Why is this? Because the devotee is Anyabhilasita Sunya, in other words, he has no material desires in his heart. So this is very special. The devotee's only desire is to think always of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how to serve him best. Because of this transcendental qualification, the Supreme Lord is extremely favorable to the devotees. Indeed, not only the devotees, but also the devotees of the devotees. So it's a matter of being attentive, being conscious. The devotees being so attentive to the Lord, always being focused on the Lord, always being conscious of him, this is very much appreciated by the Lord. So we may not be on that level where we're constantly thinking of the Lord and constantly conscious of the Lord, but we should practice in our daily practices, in our what we call sadhana, in our prayers, in our duties of worship. Then we should be very attentive to the Lord as much as possible. So when we're chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we should listen to the sound very carefully. And this way we'll be thinking of the holy name that we are chanting. And so fixing our mind on the Lord through hearing His holy name, being attentive to the Lord like that. Because of this qualification, we've read that. So even the devotees of the devotees, meaning they're not devotees of the Lord, they're just favorably inclined towards the devotees, then they also become very dear to the Lord. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Payeche Keba. Without being a devotee of a devotee, one cannot be released from material entanglement. Because how do we get released from material entanglement? By developing love for God. And how do we get that love of God? How do we learn how to behave properly in relation to the Lord? It's from the devotees. In one sense, you can say the Lord doesn't have love for himself. The devotee has love for the Lord. So we get that from the devotees. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified himself as Gopi Bhartupada Kamalayor, Dasa Dasa Anudasa. Thus, he instructed us to become not directly servants of Krishna, but servants of the servants of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the most recent incarnation of Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. He is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. He's Krishna in the form of, in the mood of a devotee. So he has taught us, first and foremost, how to be a devotee, and he's the Supreme Lord himself. So he's the best teacher. In the mood of Radharani. Vyasadeva and Sukadev Goswami are directly servants of Krishna, and one who becomes a servant of Narada, Vyasadeva, and Sukadev, like the 6 Goswamis, is still more devoted. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur therefore says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. If one very sincerely serves the spiritual master, Krishna certainly becomes favorable to such a devotee. Following the instructions of a devotee is more valuable than following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. Isn't that interesting? Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the section, the comment section. Hare Krishna.